Hello, truckers, and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. We are in McCook, Nebraska, and we got one more city to deliver to or from to complete the Cruising Nebraska event, and we do have one to go pick up. We got to go to Lincoln. That's where we need to go. So let's go ahead and back up out of here. Should be good to go after this. GPS does not show me where my delivery is. That is interesting. Oh, there it goes. Now it wants to show me. So now we're all set. Ooh, I gotta go 32 miles to go pick it on up. But that's fine. And after we get done with delivering this to Lincoln, Nebraska, we are going to be going, well, at least starting our journey, getting back out to California, because it's been a while since we've been out there. There's been some reworks, of course. We're just going to go out there and cruise around for a bit. It will take us probably a couple episodes to get out there, because we are in the middle of the country, and I'm going to assume California maybe like 1,800 miles from here, give or take. So we made some good money overnight. We're up to $78,000 in the bank account. I do need to keep an eye on the Dallas garage because I unlocked our tanker to be used in the Dallas garage. So if all three, we got currently 3 drivers in Dallas, if all of them get back to headquarters and don't go anywhere, I'll just have to put that tanker back on private, and hopefully they can start going on the road and taking more jobs again. It's unfortunate for what I paid for that tanker and what the sell price is, because it's utter trash for what it sells for when I paid for it. We made good money using it. It's just I just don't want to drive around the same tanker over and over and over again. Not that it matters too much, because we don't really look at the cargo when I'm driving. But it's just a matter of knowing what you're hauling, I guess. I have no idea what I'm going to go pick up for this load, by the way. I just saw, I just searched from McCook, and I just searched anything going to Lincoln, and there was one trailer, and I'm like, I'll grab it. Let's go. Let's go grab it and finish up the Nebraska tour. Now, of course, we haven't visited every road, I think, in Nebraska, but we will have visited every city, so that's the whole point. And if by any chance they release Arkansas or Missouri while we're out in California, then we'll find a way to get back here relatively quick so we can cruise whatever state. I think they're getting ready to announce maybe what I guess the next state on the list will be. You know, I would like to see the Dakotas, personally, but I don't think that's going to happen. Trying to stay under the speed limit because there's a cop right in front of us. I don't think I'm turning here. No. So as someone has mentioned, the red bricks, that's what they used before, asphalt and concrete, which, yeah, I do understand that. I just didn't expect to see it like in Nebraska. I expect it more like on the East Coast or what have you. I just figured by the time they really started making roads in Nebraska, they were probably using asphalt. But then again, what do I know? I'm just a truck driver. I think we're going in here. Alright, I can see the white cone. So we're going to AmeriGas? Yep, going to AmeriGas to pick up something. What are we picking up here? Is it a tanker? Is it a trailer? I didn't really even look at it that much. It's just a regular old trailer. Try to back in nice and gentle. Okay, that wasn't gentle, man. But we are lined up. Alright, so before I go... No, that's not the button I wanted. This is the button I wanted. We're hauling paint. 44,000 liters of paint. And we should be there just after... Well, just before noon. I think we'll be there probably right at noon. Just a little over 230 miles. Kind of weird hauling paint from AmeriGas, but I'm just the deliverer. I'm not the one that tried to decide what cargo they should or shouldn't have. This will also be the last load for external contracts for a while as well. See if we can get a load from Lincoln all the way to like San Diego or something like that. I'm thinking we start like in the southern part of California and head north. And I don't know if I'm just going to go up through California once, go all the way up the coast, maybe go all the way up to Washington. We'll have to see. We'll just, wherever the road takes us is where we're going to go. So we will be turning and burning out of Lincoln once we get there. In 5 hours, that should get us into like Colorado at least. Or New Mexico, depending on how we're going. And that means I might also change my paint scheme back from the Nebraska paint job that we got here back to the Moonlight Shadow paint job. I think that rest area right there that we just passed on the right-hand side, I think that's where it all started for us on the Nebraska side of things. Can definitely feel the weight of this trailer. It's a little bit above average weight. So, as for the money, we're slowly building up cash so we can buy ourselves a Western Star for us to drive. And then this truck will go to the Dallas garage and we'll get ourselves another driver for the road. So on and so forth. We've had this Peterbilt now for a little while. Route 136 East. Yeah, it's going to feel kind of weird getting back out to California. Like I said, it's been a while since we've been through there. Anytime I think of the California, Nevada maps, my brain just goes back to the very first days of ATS and what it looked like. All that matters, though, different scenery for us, and just drive every day to bring in the cash. Like Luke P just brought in like $1,700, and they leveled up. It's always good to see money coming in and the drivers leveling up at the same time. Wasn't quite sure. I thought there was oncoming traffic, but I think that's a cop has someone pulled over. That would be kind of an interesting thing to do for the game, like when we get a speeding ticket, that you actually have to pull over. And if you decide to run from the cops, maybe you can't drive for like 5 days or something like that. Or if you get so many violations in a certain amount of days or a certain amount of time span, you can't drive for like 4 or 5 days. That might be a little bit too realistic for some. And as we have seen, I've had days like that where I can't get myself out of trouble. So maybe not the best idea, but definitely an interesting one for sure. A caboose just sitting on someone's front yard. Alright, so when I do get to Lincoln, we are bringing this to Outrider. Not sure I've delivered to the company named Outrider before, so I have no idea what I expect for a delivery drop-off point. Didn't put my direction light on there. It's gonna be one of those days where I forget to do the simple things. Fuel-wise, we're looking good for the rest of the day, I do believe. I can pretty much, on a full tank, go 2 days of driving. But I expect on the way out to California, we'll be stopping in rest areas, mostly with fuel depots. It almost feels like the same route I took the first day when we were in Nebraska, and I was having issues with the speed, which ended up being the realistic fuel price mod causing that. I think the speed limit on this interstate was like 45 or something. don't know, for some reason, as for the next state, they might be announcing Iowa. Just my guess. By the way, that was our loan payment that just went through. We got about another 200 episodes of loan payments going through. Although maybe just 160 or 70 episodes. And then I think 2 of those loans will get paid off. So it won't be $6,000 every day. Which way back when, that seemed like a lot of money. I was paying a loan interest per day, but now it's like, oh, 6,000, yeah, whatever. As the fleet has expanded and our income has increased over and over. I think we all remember the early days here in this series where we got our first driver and they were bringing in like $500 per load. We weren't doing that much better, but we were bringing in maybe like 1,000, 1,200 driving for other companies. Already just 50 miles out from Lincoln. We'll have to remember to go on my World of Trucks profile to collect whatever the reward is for cruising Nebraska, the personal reward. Not sure what it is. I may have read it when Nebraska came out, but I have no idea what it is right now. And after I get this delivered, I may just double check on the Dallas garage just to see if anyone is actually back at the garage and just not moving. I only got 3 drivers there, so the odds of all 3 being back there doing nothing right now, I hope not. But if all that it takes is to make that trailer private and they'll start getting back on the road again. Hello, Lincoln. Am I yielding here, or what am I doing here? Oh, it's one of those kind of, off-ramps. Gotcha. Seems like we got here rather quick. Gotta watch out for traffic coming down that off-ramp. That van looks like it just came down and said, I'm just going. Well, Outrider. Okay, well that's where we're going. I got another 14 miles to get there. I am on the lookout, in some sense, for the college campus. Kind of interesting how all the houses just have different types of fences. Gonna make me go around the roundabout, are ya? Alright. And we have arrived at a giant facility. Not sure exactly what Outrider is. I feel like I heard the name before, but then again, I really had no clue. So, looks like I'm just pulling straight forward. So a very simple drop off. Well, not straightforward. It is if I turn around and head back the other way. Let's not jackknife the trailer too much. And it should be pretty simple here. But sometimes the simple ones are the ones that get me. Park and brake engine, decouple. And cruising Nebraska should be finished. Excelente. Show the results now. Continue. And cruising Nebraska is complete. Yes, while we're here, let's go to driver manager. All right, scroll on down. All right, well, we actually got Milton P is resting in Dallas. So that is what could be happening with the trailer. We'll see by the end of the day, see if he's still resting here. We got one heading back to Dallas. He can do flammable gas. On the road, driving distance, current job not available. So is he going back empty-handed? Because it says he's headed back, but I don't see where he's got a load. This dude is on duty, stopped to rest. Current trailer not available. Current cargo, household appliances. Current cargo not available. Well, he completed. I think he's the one that's completed a delivery and leveled up. So he might be resting, and then when he wakes up, he'll take a load maybe back to Dallas. But we got to keep our eye on Milton P. He's back at the home garage. We got to see if he will go ahead and be gone by the end of the day. If not, by next episode, should be. All right, so yeah, freight market. We are in Lincoln. And so, yeah, I'm thinking Iowa might be the next state. So we know it's Arkansas and Missouri are the two states. But it might be Iowa that gets announced next, or Louisiana. From the picture I saw, it didn't look like the Dakotas, but I could be wrong there. But anyways, Lincoln, Nebraska, we want to go somewhere to the west. Well, there's one to Montana. There's one to San Jose, California. Which brings us right to the middle. I don't know if I want to start in the middle. Redding, California. All right, Redding, California should be like right up here somewhere. Yeah. Well, there's actually a few towns we haven't been to in California on this profile. What else we got here? Maybe this one to New Mexico is the best one to go to. Because that way I'll be further south, and then maybe I can find something better along the way later on. Is this going to be frozen food? I mean, the pay isn't the greatest, but so be it. It needs to be there by Friday evening. What is today? It is midday Thursday. All right, so, and it's a 17-hour trip. So I got all day Friday, so that's 11 hours, and I got 5 hours today. That's cutting it close, man. I don't know if I can get there in time. Well, isn't that a pickle? I mean, I could go to Montana, I guess. And then head south. That needs to be there by Saturday morning. That's a 23-hour trip. Ugh. I can't get that one done either. All right, let me just do a little bit of looking here. Well, I've been talking over with Cindy, and the one I said I wouldn't take, we are going to be taking to San Jose, California. Should be able to make that one no problem. The good part about this is the load should be here at Outrider, so I don't have to travel anywhere to get there. I think it's going to be that load actually right there. Yeah, those are ATVs. It might be that load back there. Let's go check in. And freight contracts, please. And this one to San Jose. Needs to be there by Sunday morning or midday Sunday. It's 28 and a half hours. We'll just say 29. So I got all day Friday, all day Saturday. 11 hours each day. That's 22 hours. I got 5 hours today. That'll get me up to 27 hours of drive time. And then I'm going to have like 6 hours that day. So I should be able to get there. That'll bring us through Nebraska again. Then we'll go through Wyoming, Utah, Nevada. And it will bring us out like the middle of California. But, you know, it's wherever the roads takes us, right? Make sure I'm taking the right job. Yes. And once we get done, I'll get paid $8,000 for it. I think I do see the cone flashing over that trailer. Almost had it where I thought I needed to be. Try to do it gentle this time. There we go. So can't really go by it saying we're going to be there by Friday at the end of the day because that doesn't count resting and all that. But $8,000 sounds like a good payday, but it is going to take us all day to, wait, oh, no, that's not the way it came in. It came in that way. Not going to help if I keep taking wrong turns either. But yeah, we may not get there until Sunday itself, so about 2.5 days of driving. But I'm guessing a lot of it's going to be I-80 for the most part. And now we're not doing external contracts. We're not restricted to our speed limit. I did not see, this weighs 24,000, so yeah, it's a little bit on the light side. So I think we're going back just the way we came. But yes, I'm finally making that promise of getting out to California. It's been a long time. I've been saying we need to get to California. We're going. I got to go there now. I got this trailer that needs to be there by Sunday at noon. it's going to feel kind of good to not be doing jobs that I'm going to be there every 2 hours in game time. So the question is, let's see, what do we got, 5 hours? We might actually get into Wyoming. Actually, we're out by Lincoln? Then again, maybe not. I don't think so. Probably end up somewhere around Sydney, somewhere by the state border, I think. I think we'll cruise at 78. 78 sounds good. And somewhere around 2, 3 o'clock, we'll have Cindy check the GPS. See if she can find a spot for us to park up for the night. Should be 75 miles an hour all the way across the state, I think. We'll pass this cop car. And if I happen to rest up in an area that has a service station, maybe we'll switch the paint job back to Moonlight Shadow. Didn't really have that paint job for too long. I didn't I kind of liked the Nebraska paint job, but then again, it didn't really stand out too much either. But at least I had something. Hello, Schneider. Give me some room. Stay away from my cars. The cars that we're hauling, that is. Traffic does seem a little bit more full than it was last week. We are running the improved traffic mod from Patrick. I think I had about, I don't really keep track that much on Steam when it just says game update. I just go click, click. But there were two or three Steam workshop items that were updated. But traffic seems a little bit more congested than it was last week. But so far I would say the traffic mod, from what I've been seeing, so far I like it more than the base game. Seems like it has a better flow. I was asked, don't know if it was last episode of ATS or the one before, about Alaskan road truckers. There haven't been any updates to that game other than they have announced a console release date, and I didn't really look too much into it because I was actually surprised they were going to release it on console, unless they planned when they release it on console that they're going to have another update to the game itself. I hope they do, because to me that game still needs a little bit more work. Because I haven't seen any updates since, well, whenever I did the last episode, that's the last time they had an update. I think in April, mid-April, early April, somewhere around there. I think I'm just going to ride in this left-hand lane all the way for the rest of the day. Which is only for a couple more hours. Oh, way station. I'm going to get pulled in. It seems like if you're in the left lane, they're going to pull you in. Well, this would be a good spot for Cindy to get out the tablet and see what we can find 2.5 hours out. I'm coming in hot. Damaged vehicle use violation 300. I beg your pardon. I might want to blame Patrick for this one. That might be part of the realistic economy mod. That's not the button now. Well, it is. Since we're here now, I'm on the map. 2.5 hours. I want to see what condition my truck is in. 2.5 hours out. Well, there's the state line. Well, if I were to go here, that's 2.5 hours. All right, let's go ahead and mark that. And there is a service station there. So that's 2.5 hours. That's what we're going to call it. Wait, which button is it for? 5% damage on my truck. I mean, what? 5%. %5 damage. I gotta pay a fine for that? And does it say... It doesn't say here. But I'm guessing 4% of that's gonna be on tire wear? That seems a little rough from the safety inspectors. I may have read that wrong when I got inspected because I wasn't expecting anything to pop up, like any fines or anything. I'm like, well, we're fine here. And it's not like my trailer's overweight or anything like that, so I'm, whatever. Now I'm just more concerned about getting pulled over at more weigh stations. Because I'm not one to repair the truck all the time. I think it was a Volvo V&L, forgot what model we had, but we let the tire wear get up to like 45%, possibly. No. That car just came right on over. Well, at least I avoided Now, I don't think the car... I didn't look in the side mirror. But I don't think... I think that car came over no matter what. Luckily, we had a little room over on the side of the road. And there was no just a well-placed electrical pole or light pole or anything like that. So I think I was pretty spot on there by stopping in Sydney. That's where we're going to be stopping. Well, I think that was Sydney that I was clicking on. But we should be there just before 5 o'clock. So I'm not going to really look at the ETA and when it says I'm going to be there. I'm just going to see how many hours I got left to drive. So right now it's saying just under 25 hours. So we got 2 full days after this, Friday and Saturday. So that's 22 hours. And then I got about 6 hours to get there on Sunday. So that's 28 hours. So the way it's going, if we go by the drive time, I should have a decent amount of time to get there. Unless we get a detour or what have you. But get used to I-80, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be taking the I-80 all the way through Wyoming next episode and down into Utah. Will I be connecting in Salt Lake City, which is our home city? Can I get around you guys before? Whoa, you guys are slowing up quite a bit. Oh, there is an accident here. Don't. Someone's going to pull out and cause a problem. No, okay. We're fine. I'll move over here because we should be getting off within a few miles anyways. Yeah, I don't mind at a weigh station if your vehicle's not in perfect condition or whatever. But I think 5% maybe. Maybe that needs to be adjusted a little bit. 5%. I guess if there's a way to determine, I mean, if it's all tire wear, I see a helicopter in the sky, so it's an accident somewhere. If it's all tire wear, it should be like, okay, that's no fine there. Unless you get like up above 75% tire wear, possibly. Looks like we're at our exit. So we are going to go to the service station to change a paint job. That should only be like $1,000 for the new paint job. That's the price I think I usually set it for. Oh, look, Cindy, they got a Starbucks here. I'm not much of a Starbucks kind of a guy. Being from the northeast of the USA, we're more of a Dunkin' Donuts type of people. Oh, let's go over the curb. And I'm probably coming in the wrong way like I always do. $5.84 for diesel here in Nebraska. This time I'm just going to sit here. Looks like the gas cap going back on. Sound of the door shutting, me putting on the seatbelt. Great sound effects. Okay, we're just going out here to the repair center. I'm not repairing my truck, but we will, like I said, look at the stats. But mostly the paint, change the paint job, and that's it. Now let's go in here. Let's go to service. So let's see. I got 4% damage on the engine. Well, it's kind of like across the board, which is kind of weird. Where is 61% on the tires? I kind of forgot about the new damage system. So maybe that's why I'm getting fined. Repair all or replace all? I think I'm just going to hit repair all. Total to pay $200. Confirm. So we'll see if we get stopped at. So no more damage. Where? 61% on the wheels. Interesting. Let's go to truck configuration. And which one is it here? All right, and then I got to go ahead and do black. There we go. And then, oh, I got the price set for $1, so think I can afford that? Yes, I can. All right, so the other thing I got to do is, no, and not F3, F4. Because I got my truck service, got to make sure all my lights are back on. There we go. And then we'll get rid of, nope. Get rid of that and that. All right, let's go ahead and park up. And we can kind of park just right over here, I do believe. Shouldn't park right on the corner of a parking lot, but this will do for me today. And there we go. Moonlight Shadow is back. Like it never left almost. Yeah, so we want to go ahead and check on, I know it's only been a couple of hours, but let's go ahead and check on, where is it? Company driver manager. Is that driver still in? So Milton P is still in the garage. But I mean, he could be sleeping. What do you sleep for? 10 hours? Yeah, because we go to bed at 8 at night, wake up at 6. So you sleep for 10 hours. So I don't know what time he got back to the garage. But if he's still there when we start next episode in the morning, if he's still in the garage, then I'm thinking he's going to be trying to take the trailer, which I don't think he can take because he doesn't have any cargo available to him to take. Yeah, like I said, Lucas should be able to take it. It's been a while since I've actually looked at... Ooh, where do I go for all this new stuff down here? Well, it's been out now for a little while, but I haven't been in it enough to figure out where it needs to be. Not jobs, career, skills. There we go. So explosives. That's not going to be dynamite, fireworks, and any ammunition. That's not going to go in that tanker. But class 2, which is flammable gas, for examples, hydrogen, non-flammable gas, including that should all go into that tanker. So we need people that with at least a tier 2 on that. But we'll see what happens. Who knows? Maybe that driver will take off. I would like to someone take that tanker and actually really bring in the cash, but we'll have to wait and see. But anyways, we are done with the cruise in Nebraska. We are leaving Nebraska. Not quite yet. We're still in Sydney, right? We're in Sydney, I would assume. Yeah, Sydney's up there. So we got to be in Sydney. We are in Sydney, Nebraska, and headed towards San Jose, California. Won't make it there next day either, but we should be somewhere like Utah, west side of Utah, I would assume, maybe almost into Nevada, but we'll have to wait and see. But if you made it this far in the video and you like what you saw, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, do think about subscribing to the channel. I would appreciate it very much so. But speaking of appreciating, I appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I'll catch you again right here in American Truck Simulator with realistic economy. But until then, have a good one.